Yeah. Don't know what's wrong with the world today. Thought we were through with all this shit, but American bombs keep dropping and don't seem to want to quit. Well, you'll hear them raining down in Russia. They've already leveled the Gaza Strip. They've been battering at the gates of Damascus for years and hammering at Yemen too. Now they're getting locked into Lebanon, and who knows what'll be their next trick. But one thing I can promise you, they're not about to slow down a bit. Now, they called World War II the big one, the war to end all wars, they said. But when the doors all closed, you'd see them rub their hands and lick their lips. They knew American bombs were getting ready for Red China and the upcoming Korean conflict. Now they didn't win Korea, they really made a mess of that. And the Cubans kicked their ass right out of Angola. Sure, they could those diamond mines, but they didn't know much about old Che Guevara, that nasty communist prick. No, they didn't know a lot about him, but they sure found out real quick. As the troops retreated back to Johannesburg, and all of Capitol Hill fell sick. But there was light at the end of the tunnel, and they could see that light was coming in quick. It was a nice big wall with the Viet Cong, and they were hell-bent to make it so. Only blacks and poor whites Americans would be drafted into it. Now this is when shit went kinda crazy, and American bombs were flying everywhere. They were falling in Cambodia, and in Laos they didn't have a chance. Fire torched the jungles, and napalm torched the air. The missile companies kept getting richer. American bomb makers were raking in the dough, as they got their young soldiers all hooked on hop, as if that wasn't bad enough. Take those that were LSD, not enough to own their bodies. They wanted their minds controlled as well, as the jungles of Vietnam became an adolescent American hell. Now they lost to Ho Chi Minh too, but they didn't mind a bit. Their bank accounts were getting fat, while 5,000 American soldiers died for this bullshit. When Vietnam drew to a close, they were like addicts looking for the next big fix. Yeah, the Red China and the Red China and the upcoming Korean conflict. Now they didn't win Korea, they really made a mess of that. And the Cubans kicked their ass right. The Cubans kicked their ass right out of Angola. Sure, they could those diamond mines, but didn't know much about old Che Guevara, that nasty Korean conflict. It came in the form of Central America, and you're not gonna believe this shit. The US Congress refused to fund their war, so the CIA were trafficking crack cocaine and military weapons as well. They just dropped it all off in South Central to a guy called Freeway Rick, sentenced a whole generation of black Americans to fill up the newly built prison cells. They not only sentenced them to life in prison, they commodified the poor kids too. Just when they thought Jim Crow was dead, he got up to start round two. Now, not a single war of occupation was won by the 20th century's end, but it wasn't long before George W. was asking for another plan. So we got attacked by a terrorist organization that started as an American project to hurt the Russians in Afghanistan. Soon they turned into Al-Qaeda, America's biggest foe. Just a bunch of ragtag Arabs that were sick of American bombs as well. So they trained 20 men how to fly a plane, but they never got trained to land. But it wasn't long before George W., but they never got trained to land. Maybe that should have been a clue for the great US intelligence gang. But instead of going after Al-Qaeda, they went after the Taliban. Although they thought it would be east, they couldn't even win in that war-torn land. Never had a central government, but American bombs kept dropping on the Taliban Afghan sands. But the Taliban wasn't big enough, old George W. wouldn't stand for that. So although they had done nothing, everyone knew Saddam was next. But he started as our ally well. Now the Middle East became the new adolescent American hell. So here we sit today, American bombs dropping everywhere. But as long as Raytheon and Boeing are keeping their wallets stacked, they don't give a damn about Muslims, nor do they give a damn about anyone else. As long as the money's flowing and the Dow doesn't start to crash, all the war crimes in the world won't stop them from stacking their cash. So that's the story, and the Dow doesn't start to crash. All the war crimes in the world won't stop them from stacking their cash. So that's the story of America, God's favorite country and people too. And if we happen by luck to survive all these US-led conflicts, it's sad to say, but you know it's true. They have no moral compass, just a bag of dirty tricks. But don't get the wrong idea and start thinking you can change what they're gonna do. You better keep your head on a swivel, or you'll see those American bombs coming after you and your family too. American bombs, American bombs, they're coming after you.